What if I told you the US dollar's biggest shakeup in over 50 years isn't just a possibility, it's already in motion? We're standing at the edge of a historical pivot, a gold reset that will send shockwaves through every asset you own, from your retirement fund to the value of your home. While most investors will be caught in the chaos, a small, informed group will quietly use this moment to make a fortune. Today, I will reveal why this gold reset is happening, the Federal Reserve's secret countermove, and why Hedera HBAR isn't just a beneficiary, it's at the very center of this massive shift. The opportunity is hidden in plain sight, and you need to see it before the headlines hit. If you're interested in this topic, hit the like button, subscribe, and type interested in the comments, and I will give you a heart. Over the next couple minutes, we're not just going to theorize, we're going to build a strategic blueprint. You will gain 1. The real reason for the gold reset, it's not just about inflation, it's about the very foundation of the US dollar's global dominance, a system that is currently in its final days. 2. The Federal Reserve's quiet, technical countermove. You'll learn how they plan to re-establish confidence and why it requires a brand new type of digital plumbing they can't build themselves. 3rd, the invisible partnership that links Hedera directly to this plan. This is the secret that most retail investors completely overlook. And 4, the asymmetric opportunity. I'll show you why chasing gold directly is the obvious money and where the smart money is truly positioning itself with HBAR. Every claim, every signal, every data point will be rooted in verifiable sources. This is a crucial intelligence briefing for any investor who wants to protect their wealth and build real generational fortune. Let's start with the fundamental question. Why would the Federal Reserve even consider a gold reset? The media talks about inflation, and that's true. But the core reason is much deeper. It's about the petrodollar. Back in 1971, President Nixon severed the dollar's link to gold, a move known as the Nixon shock. Overnight, the dollar became a fiat currency backed only by faith. To keep the dollar strong, a deal was made with Saudi Arabia. In exchange for military protection, they would only sell oil in US dollars. This created a massive, endless demand for the dollar. But that era is ending. BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa are actively working to bypass the dollar. They're striking deals using their own currencies and making it clear they want to unseat the dollar's throne. This isn't a theory, it's an undeniable geopolitical reality. The Federal Reserve knows this, so their problem isn't just inflation, it's the potential collapse of the dollar's global standing. And that's where gold comes in. But what exactly is the BRICS strategy, and what does it mean for you? As reported by the World Gold Council, central banks are hoarding gold at record levels, led by China and Russia. In 2023 and 2024 alone, they added over 1,000 tons to their reserves. This is not a coincidence. This is a deliberate strategic move. They are building a war chest, a physical backbone for a potential new gold-backed trade currency. They are planning to compete directly with the US dollar. This is why the Federal Reserve is in a bind. Their old monetary playbook won't work in this new world. They have to play a different game. So, what is the Federal Reserve's quiet counter move? They're not just watching this happen, they have a plan, but it's not what you think. The Federal Reserve's counter move isn't to start a war or force nations to use the dollar. Their move is technical. They know that a modern gold-backed system requires instant, auditable, and secure transactions. It needs new digital plumbing. They need a system that can handle trillions in value transfer per day without breaking down, a system that can tokenize real-world assets like gold, and most importantly, it needs to be fast enough for institutions, but compliant enough for regulators. The legacy systems of Wall Street, like the SWIFT network, are too slow and expensive for this. The Federal Reserve has already taken a step with FedNow, but that's just a local domestic solution. It can't compete globally, so they need to build a new network. But who is building it? And why is this the most important piece of the puzzle for investors to understand? For a digital gold settlement layer to work on a global scale, it needs a specific set of properties. It must have instant finality, meaning a transaction is permanent the moment it's confirmed, no waiting, no reversals. It needs low fixed fees so that large institutions can process millions of transactions without worrying about fluctuating costs. It needs to be enterprise grade with robust security and the ability to scale. It needs a credible, decentralized governance model. The Federal Reserve needs a system they can trust. A network that is not a simple blockchain, but something far more advanced and efficient, a distributed ledger technology that can actually handle the volume and complexity of global finance. So which network is already taking every single one of those boxes? A network that is already being explored for tokenizing real-world assets, a network with a governing council made up of Fortune 500 companies like Google, Boeing, and IBM. The answer might surprise you, and it has everything to do with Hedera Hashgraph HBAR. While others are still building hype, Hedera has been quietly building the infrastructure that a post-dollar, gold-black world would desperately need. Its Hashgraph technology is not a blockchain. It's a superior distributed ledger that offers the speed, security, and low fees that the traditional financial world requires. But it gets even deeper. There's a specific hidden partnership that links Hedera Hashgraph HBAR directly to the world of tokenized gold, a partnership that most retail investors completely overlook. And it's the ultimate proof that the smart money is already here. Let's talk about a specific example. There are already projects on the Hedera HBAR network focused on the tokenization of real-world assets, RWAs. This isn't a theory, it's happening. Companies are using Hedera to tokenize everything from art to real estate, and it's this very technology that would be used to tokenize gold. This quiet partnership and technical readiness is the first domino. It shows that the technology is not just possible, but already being implemented and tested on a smaller scale. These are the proof of concept projects that a major player like the Federal Reserve or a consortium of major banks would look at before making a move. This is the ultimate validation that Hedera HBAR is not just a cryptocurrency, it's a foundational technology that's already doing the work others are only dreaming of. So if a gold reset happens, and the signs say it could be closer than most think, how do you position yourself? This is the critical question. The obvious money will chase gold directly. They'll buy bullion, gold ETFs, and mining stocks. That's a fine strategy, but it's a direct bet. The real asymmetric opportunity lies in being a shovel seller during a gold rush. You make a bet on the infrastructure that will handle the inevitable flow of value. Hedera Hashgraph HBAR is the ultimate asymmetric bet. While everyone is watching gold prices, the smart money is positioning in the underlying network that will handle trillions in value transfer. If Hedera Hashgraph HBAR becomes the quiet giant that moves the money while the world scrambles to adapt, the value acceleration could be unlike anything we've seen. You're not betting on a single asset, you're betting on the digital railroad that the entire financial system will run on. For weeks, we've been hearing whispers of a coming financial storm. The gold reset seemed like a conspiracy theory, but now you have the full picture. The signals from central banks, the BRICS counter threat, the Federal Reserve's technical needs, and Hedera's unique position as the perfect solution. You've transformed from someone who fears the headlines to someone who understands the quiet, powerful shifts happening beneath the surface. You are now equipped with the knowledge to make an informed decision. But here's the most critical question. What if the Federal Reserve isn't the only player planning a gold-backed pivot? Because there's another country making even bolder moves right now, and if they pull it off first, the global game changes overnight. That's a story you cannot afford to miss. Click the video on your screen right now to uncover this next crucial piece of the puzzle. Subscribe so you don't miss any of our breaking news. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.